Who's in charge of prayer? See, you start the recording. Go.
Let us remember that we're in the Holy Presence, yeah, the Father, Son, and Spirit. Dear God, as we continue to learn what boundless brotherhood means, let us continue to make good relationships with our peers. Amen. St. John Baptist there, put Jesus in our hearts.
Oh, you guys are so. All right, you should be reading chapter 3, finishing it up tomorrow. Now we're gonna have a quiz on Wednesday, and unfortunately, I was taking a vote. Should we have the quiz or not have the quiz? And the vote has been decided before we got to your class. So you will have no say in this. Sorry, we're not having the quiz. It was, you don't want to show me how smart you are?
Well, I already know.
Yeah, but I don't.
I should.
I have seen very little proof of that. No. It was 71-1 so far with the votes.
Who voted for the quiz?
Yes, I do, but for fear of his life, I will not be.
So amenable.
He probably was on edibles and didn't understand. All right, so we take now in truthfulness is, and I said this to the guys who were voting. If I thought the chapter quiz was good to help you for the unit test, I would keep it. But looking at the quiz, they ask the questions on this quiz in a because the quiz really is from the textbook in such a funky way that the AP questions are nothing like it. So usually the guys do horrible on it, and it doesn't help you for the unit test. So we'll just eliminate that. What we'll do there is probably just more practice problems in class instead of that. All right. Thursday, I think I'm gonna have enough time, if we move along at a decent pace, to do what I usually do before and after school, like a review in class. So you won't have to come before or after. We'll do that in class. Friday, you'll have an FRQ unit test, but you'll have taken probably Wednesday a couple of the practice ones to get you ready for Thursday. And then we'll have multiple choice Monday, and I'll do a review at 7:45 Sunday night for Monday, which will be basically practice questions because I'll have given you the material here. This is worth 30 points, and the multiple choice is worth 60. And it's the same relationship as the AP test. 1/3 is for the FRQ, 2/3 for the multiple choice. Okay, any questions on any of that? Yes, sir.
So like what specific, I'm not asking for a specific question, but like what things are normally like what we're supposed to discuss when we do a free response and how we're supposed to do it.
What? Yeah.
We're gonna do some practice ones and you'll see. Okay, that'll be the best one. Very little writing, Emmanuel. The two topics, if this is what you were asking me, that I could see being on your FRQ Friday is either comparative advantage or the production possibilities curve. I can't see anything else. And by the way, for the multiple choice, I will break out by topic, like 12 questions, production possibilities curve, 6 questions, so you could know where to focus your study. I should have done that today. Okay, you're more than welcome. 8.7, by the way, I think I added this other teacher said I should ask on these how engaged you are in the lesson. I don't really care how engaged you are, I just care if you learn. But she's the only other person who does this, so I figured I should listen to her and pretend I care. Here's what I'll be interested in. Is there any correlation with your engagement in your learning? All right, she was right. All right, increasing versus constant opportunity cost. Someone asked me about. Increasing would be 1 shirt, 3 hats. The second shirt, 6 hats. The third shirt, 12 hats. The opportunity cost, as I'm adding shirts, is more hats. Constant is 1 shirt, 3 hats. Second shirt, 3 hats. Third shirt, 3 hats. It's constant. Straight line, increasing is what? Bowed out curve. All right, we're gonna do comparative and absolute today. You can take out your note sheet from Friday. And allocative efficiency is producing what society wants. I won't worry about that because it's more of unit 3. Was anyone out Friday? On that, good. All right. Okay. We did this, right?
No,
We didn't do this?
no, we didn't.
No, we never did that.
Okay, I'll do it too. Okay. We must have got the last.
thing we did was, early opportunity cost.
Okay, so this is the next on your sheet, right? You guys good? All right, so absolute advantage. It's the producer that can produce the most output, meaning the most hats, the most shirts, whatever, the most cars. That's absolute advantage. This is coming to give it to you. Or the least amount of input. So an input would be how many hours it takes to make the car. How many workers does it take? So you want the least inputs and the most outputs. A country can have the absolute advantage in both. Absolute advantage has nothing to do with trade. Will they try to confuse you? Yes, they will. Comparative advantage, that's what's going to determine trade. The producer with the lowest opportunity cost. If it's an output problem, meaning how many shirts were produced, how many hats were produced, how many cars were produced. If it is, the formula is output equal other over. Jack, you didn't hear me? Output equals other over. If it's an input problem, the problem is how many hours, how many men, how much cotton does it take? Nah, they went. How many acres? Input is other under. And I'll show you what those look like in the problems in a minute. You are always looking for the lowest opportunity cost. That's what determines. Only one country can have the comparative advantage. So we're doing trades with 2 countries. If Japan has the comparative advantage in computers, US has it in cars. Okay. Here you can have the absolute advantage in both. Here only one country could have it. Is everyone good with everything up there? Yeah, sure. Parker, you bring your A game today? A game?
Yep.
Okay. I like that. By the way, someone has already brought me one of those, what do they call those, honor roll holidays? Don't ever bring that piece of paper up and foot. I'll never sign it again. It's the stupidest. Don't want this school. You love school. Just come and see me and then miss all your other classes. All right, here's where we're going. Jeff, What nation has the absolute advantage of producing seed? Jack, is this an output or an input? It says output, I gave it to you, but why is it an output? How could you tell from the prompt? Jack, 3 minutes ago, you told me you were the smartest guy, and I should be able to figure this out. Read the prompt, because you will be able to figure it out. Read the prompt and tell me in these 2 sentences, what tells you it's an output problem?
Canada, like, is producing like similar stuff per hour.
Okay, so are these numbers representing how many CDs in B or how many hours it takes to do it? Yes, so that's an output. I'd say a keyword is produce, okay? You see produce pounds and number, that would be an output, okay? That being said, Parker, who has the absolute advantage in CDs? Parker, it's a tricky question, but you said you called your A name. Okay, you're going with both, I go with neither, but you had the right idea. All right, so neither. All right. Devin, which nation has the absolute advantage in producing B?
Canada.
Canada, 6-2. All right. Now, the next one. All right. Now, that absolute advantage has nothing to do with trade, but, they could ask that, so we'll go over it. Who has a comparative advantage in producing CDs? Let's look at Japan first. Remember, other goes under. So what's the other product Japan can make? Beef. It goes under. 4 goes under 2. Okay, so that I'm just going to say is 2. For Canada, the CDs, the other product is beef. It goes under. That's 2/3. We always want the lowest opportunity cost, right? You always want to pay the least cost. So therefore, Canada is going to have the opportunity, is going to specialize in CDs. So you specialize in the lowest opportunity cost and you export, which means you sell to other countries. Okay?
I thought it was other goods for output.
I'm like freaking stupid as well. Huh?
Is that a blunder?
That's 2 blunders.
Is that another blunder?
No, that's just being, so other over. So that's 2/4. Thank you. 6/4. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have to retire. Today might be my last day. You guys think I'm kidding. All right, that's Japan. Now, if I was really smart, I would have said, of course, Deb, I just want to see where you're paying attention. All right, now we're gonna do the other. All right, now we're gonna do the other for beef. 4/2, that's 2. And then the other for CDs is 2/3. Okay. Are you good? Do you have a question?
Yeah, with 3, with 3 switch to Japan.
What do you say that again?
Question 3. Because we had it as Canada, but then.
Yeah.
So we switched to Japan.
Oh, yeah, we didn't do that. Now, if Japan has it here, do we know who has a comparative advantage? This is absolute. So the absolute advantage was Canada, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we're moving this now,
Three.
Japan, right? And then,
Canada.
right, now, I figured both of them out, right? But you don't have to, once you get one, you know the other. Right, should Japan specialize in CD? You should always specialize and export your lowest opportunity course. Okay. Specialized meaning that's what you're gonna make, export meaning you're gonna sell it to the other country. Yes, sir.
So for the output, is having a smaller number better or having a larger number better?
Smaller, because it's a core. You always want to sell the lowest cost.
So that, the final number, the answer is the opportunity cost?
You mean like here?
Yeah.
Here, if I was explaining, say, why Japan should specialize, it's because Japan's opportunity cost is a half beat compared to Canada's 1.5.
That means it takes, if you use half of the resources in Canada, you use 1.5. resources.
Correct.
Okay.
So the smaller number, is the one with the comparative advantage?
Yes, always, input and output. Yes,
I was reading this like thing like time.
cross multiply. Here's the problem with cross multiplying. It's gonna get you the right answer, but it's not gonna tell you how to explain it. All right, we're good here? Yes,
So 5 and 6 Japan should specialize in fees, right?
correct.
And then Canada.
All right. Next up, let's do an input problem. Now, I'm telling you it's an input, but reading the prompt, what would be the key to knowing it's an input? We get like 5, okay. Ethan,
It says the number of hours it takes.
okay, so hours are an input, right? So it's the number of hours it takes. I'm not gonna ask you who has the absolute advantage of bread, it's a tie, you guys know, right? Who has the absolute advantage in corn? Nate?
US.
Ethan?
US.
Daniel?
United States.
No one's buying into France? No one? Okay, it's the United, this is the first class that everyone seemed to get the right answer. It's the United States, because in an input, you want to use the least amount of hours to make something, right? It's better to spend 2 hours making a bushel than 6. Now, let's do the comparative advantage. All right. Here, I'm doing for bread, the other, which is corn. This one's under. I'm doing the other for corn. So I've got 2 or 2/3. I know France is bread. Now I know the United States is corn, but for practice, let's just go. If I'm doing corn, I gotta take the other product, which is bread. That's 4, that's 2. I gotta take the other product, which is bread. That's 1.5, right? That's a half. So this is it up here, and this is 1.5. So we're like that, right? So now, France specialize and export. Specialize and export. Huh? Yes, sir.
Do you find absolute advantage in producing corn? Yeah. Is that the
So-
output equation?
So here, is everyone good with, I'll get to you in a second. Is everyone good with comparative advantage? Okay, the other one. So the absolute advantage is who takes the least hours to make things. So it's 2, it's less than 6.
Not the,
That's it.
oh, okay.
Wait, so for red and.
Yeah, because it's 4 and 4.
Okay, that makes. I got it mixed up. I thought you were saying.
It's okay. Okay, you're good now? I thought someone else had something, no? Okay. This is an output question. I'm telling you that. Because there's no prompt. Figure out who has the absolute advantage in wheat and sugar and who has the comparative advantage. I'll give you a minute or two. Remember, it's an output question. I'm giving you that. Cameron, who has the absolute advantage in wheat?
Absolute advantage. US.
US. Emmanuel, who has it in sugar?
US,
You can have the absolute advantage in both?
yes,
Does it matter who, does that determine what's getting traded?
no,
No, okay. US has the absolute, it's an output. We're just going bigger, 30-20, 30-10. Okay, on an FRQ, Emmanuel asked earlier, if they ask who has the absolute advantage to wheat, you can write US. If they said explain, you write US can make 30 tons of wheat, Brazil makes 10. That's all you gotta write. They don't ask explain, just put US. All right, who has the comparative advantage for wheat?
United States.
United States. I take the other, because it's an output, 30 over 30, that gives me 1. I take the other, 20 over 10, gives me 2. 1 is smaller. US specializes in exports. Brazil sugar. Any question on that? All right, take out your boards. Let's do a couple of practice multiple choice. All right. All right, questions on the board? You've got 1 minute. You could stand if you want to, or you could come up later. All right, let's try to get something on our boards. Okay. All right, boards, please. I've got A, D, 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 B. Did I see a C somewhere or am I making that up? Yeah. So I've got A, B, and D. B and D seems. All right. All right, here's the easiest way. They're asking me for the opportunity cost of grain for alpha. Other over. 30 over 30 is 1. Right? So that means it's A, B, and D, which is so far the answers we've got. I do the other deal over 30 over 30 is 1. That's for alpha. Now for beta, I'm going to do the same thing. The other 20 over 10 is 2. So B as in broccoli is going to be the answer.
But you said grain earlier.
Can't hear you.
You said grain earlier. I was. Never mind.
1 ton of grain.
Well, in the answer you said grain.
Oh. Okay, I meant that. Okay. Are you good though?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, next up. All right. I would tell you to get the zeros. Just don't even connect. Do the problem like they're not even there. Did you get something on your boards? All right. Let's see what we've got. I got a couple of broccolis. I've got Caroline. I got broccoli. Is that Ellen? Broccoli. I've got an Ellen. I've got some dogwood. I'd say broccoli is the majority of it. All right. Mitchell. Is this an input or an output question?
Output,
How do we know?
so it's production.
Okay, right, we're measuring how many computers in cars, right? All right, so, who has, Mitchell, since you're doing a great job, who has the absolute advantage in computers?
Country B.
Country B, so A is gone, right? The answer A, no good. All right, now. Cameron, who has the comparative advantage in computers?
Three.
You want to work it out together?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so it's output, other over, right? So it's gonna be 12 over 24, right? So that's 0.5. This is gonna be 15 over 45. That's 0.3. This is smaller. So the answer is gonna be B. It has the absolute and comparative advantage. Does that make sense? A couple of people had other things. You good, Ken?
Yeah.
You're good? All right, I just made this chart because I'm dyslexic. So when I see the zeros and everything, I freak out. I just simplify it like that. I just wanted to show you, you could do that. All right, boards away. This is back in your notes. See, could you do all 7 of these? Yes, sir. It's an output and you couldn't tell without asking. You couldn't tell without asking like you did. Output. And just like, I hate saying this, but test like things, 9 out of 10 of the questions are output questions. So if you're totally lost, guess output. No, in pineapples or radios. Your question.
Yeah, how do you find, what is it asking about, what is the cost of film grade?
In pineapple.
How do you find that?
So that's the opportunity.
Okay,
Just other over. Other over.
okay.
Yes, sir.
Is number 7 and the answer to the question?
Now you gotta put how many pineapples would benefit both countries. Like one radio for what amount of pineapples would benefit both? I'm gonna stop us here mainly for time. You really should have a little more time to do this. But, who could give me, who has the absolute advantage in radios? Jack. India, Jack, why who has it for pineapples?
Also, yeah.
India for both. So now you're right, 40-10, 40-30. Okay, Ben, what is the cost of one radio for India?
And I,
All right,
23,
no, Ben, just do the opportunity cost, other over. So if it's a radio, the other 40 over 40,
oh, it's like, something the other way.
okay? Are you good now?
Yeah.
Okay. Ben, just to make sure you're good, what's the opportunity cost for one pineapple, for Kenya?
It's 0.3.
1/3, right? Yeah, other over. All right,
What was number 2?
2 is 1, right? What is the cost of one radio? 40 over 40. All right, guys, when they're asking for the don't pack up yet, we're not going. When they ask for the cost, it's just the other over. Okay, Ethan, who has the comparative advantage in pineapple? Okay, so I take 10 over 30, which is a third, 40 over 40 is 1. All right, we will do question 7 tomorrow. Okay, have a great day, fill out the forms, put them in the box. That's me.
You can still take the quiz after school, right? Or the new quiz.
Yeah. Who said this is making sense? Good.